Okay, so what I'm going to be doing today is a little bit different from most of my other commentary videos. Um, Back in 1992, I believe, there was this service that got started called ImagiNation Network. Now, what this was a service that allowed you to play a bunch of different games against people online. And it was all kind of centralized, like, with just one program. And that kind of sounds like, well, everything does that nowadays. Xbox Live, you go on, you got centralized hubs for stuff, you have the dashboard. Don't even make any sense. It's stupid. Well, back in 1992, this was a pretty big deal. That's why other companies like the Total Entertainment Network were actually able to charge money, like 10 or 15 bucks a month, and you only got to play from a select number of games, and even then, you still had to pay for those games in the first place. So, it's not like Xbox Live where you got access to tons and tons of games, all the games you want. There maybe had like 10 games. And this was kind of the same. I actually forgot if this was free or not, but again, for the time, this is a big deal because you had chat rooms, you had friends lists, stuff like that, so it was a pretty awesome thing. It was made by Sierra, which in the early 90s pretty much like dominated a lot of the PC market. They had a lot of adventure games. They even had FPS games put out, like Star Siege Tribes, which is an absolutely incredible FPS game. It's my number one favorite of all time. They had a pretty good share of the PC market, and so what happened though is, of course, since ImagiNation came out like 1992, the ImagiNation Network did. It's no longer in service. So what some dudes did is they got the coding for the ImagiNation Network, and they, I guess, reverse engineered it and set up their own server, and now you can play ImagiNation and all the same games and all that stuff. The only problem is there's not that many people on it because it's sort of an older service, and the word hasn't really gotten out that much that this thing's been put up. So what I'm doing with this video is something similar to like Jam Legend and a few other stuff like Tetris Friends. I put up videos for that where I'm trying to get like more people to get on it because I think it's a good service and I think you guys would have fun doing it and stuff like that. So the first thing you go to here is your character creation screen where you can go and whatever. You can change your character and stuff like that. You can go and make them male or female. Wow, it looks a little bit odd. Make a male or female, skin color, head, facial hair, hairstyle, hair color, nose, eyes, eyebrows, mouth, all the typical stuff, That looks a little bit freaky. I'm just gonna make a new one, but all the typical stuff that you see in like a game, and let's make it blah, blah, blah. Let's put in that 99 years old, van down by the river. Doesn't fit. Okay, we'll just say a van. So anyways, you can go in here and make your guy whatever. I'm not even gonna like screw with whatever, just put in whatever. And you go on, and you can actually put your skill in games, which is kind of interesting. Just for demonstration purposes, I'm just gonna not even screw with that though. But then you can pick your hobbies and general interests. I'm assuming that this comes up on your profile somewhere, although I can't remember where it does. But again, back in the day, this was kind of a big thing. Oh, you like dogs too? You like cats? You like computer games? Blah, blah, blah. Interesting, I just noticed. Cats isn't on here, but dogs is. Huh. Well, that's a little bit of a bias. But, you can put on, I'll just put 5 things here, whatever. You can only do 4 things, actually. And so then you go on, and there's your guy. So you pick save. And you go on, but this guy sucks, so he's gone. So we'll go on here and pick play, and it connects you to the network here. Give it a second here. It's dialing. It's connecting with a modem. Remember, this is back in the day when people had like 14.4K modems. Had friggin' if you check the info here, actually. Oh wow, there's actually 2 other people online. That's pretty rare. But if you check the credits, I believe, yeah, connected at 19,200 baud. Which, for comparison, I think DSLs are on 128,000. So think about that. And this was even kind of fast back in the day, So yeah, but it goes through the credits here and stuff like that, all this stuff, you know, everything. It's got a few well-known games like Red Baron was a game before this came out. It was a flying game. The Shadow Eusebius is what I'm going to concentrate on mostly with this video because it's this game that's kind of like a dungeon crawler game, and it probably drew the most attention to ImagiNation Network when it was out because it's a pretty well-developed, fleshed-out game, especially for the time. And then I know Stratego's on here, but it's not showing it to me. Oh, there we go, Stratego. So you can play that too. So you got your zones here, kind of like Xbox Live zones, except these actually designate what games you want to play. Like you go in here and it's all like card games. You go in here and it's all stuff like, well, I'll show you here. I'll show you what it looks like. You go in here and you have to make a character for each one of the lands for the most part. Like when you go into Sierra Land and stuff like that, you have a character you have to make that's like, because it's all supposed to be like, you know, board games and stuff like that, so you have to make like, I guess, a kid version of you or whatever. And so you go in here and you can pick from any of these games. 3D golf, self-explanatory. Paintball, self-explanatory. I think boogers is like checkers. I'm not positive though. Stratego, stuff like that. And then you pick a game. Let's say I want to do paintball. And if there were people in here, this would actually be a chat room, and you could actually like talk to people and something like that, except you'd actually need to pick people to talk to. I don't think there was a global chat room. You actually have to talk like one-on-one. And then you could watch games, you could play games, all that stuff, but we're not going to screw with that. Bunch of other stuff you can do here too. You can go to top scorers, go to mail, send email to each other, stuff like that, you know. So go back out here to the map, and if you're really nostalgic for like 90s games too, like 90s PC games, man, the graphics of this are like so awesome. I like love this type of like graphics, like the Sierra pixel graphics stuff always looks so awesome to me, especially like in the Island of Dr. Brain. I love that game. I might even do a video on that. I played that for like forever when I was a kid. Casino Land, you have to make a character for that too. You have to be 18 and up to go into that. I'm not sure why, because they don't use real money and there's no nudity or like vulgarity or anything like that as far as I know, but maybe I could be wrong. The arena is usually where you go to play Red Baron and stuff like that, but I think in this version of ImagiNation, they've disabled it for some reason. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure what this even is. You can do the Bright Start School or the Dimwit School, and you have to order either one. Don't really know why you name it the Dimwit School, that's kind of bad. The shop, I'm not really sure what you can do there. I haven't really checked that out. I could go on like and make like 4 videos worth of like all the stuff you can do in here, but I'm just gonna go to this. So here's the thing. These are all 3 pretty much the same types of game. They're all first-person dungeon crawler type games, and for those of you that don't know what those are like, I'll show you. But they used to be a kind of big type of game back in the day.